Hello, and what a privilege it is just to be here and to share a little bit about my experience with the Hope Centre from its outset. And let me just say right at the beginning that the whole point of the Hope Centre, the whole purpose, the whole vision for the Hope Centre was that it would be an outworking of the mission and the vision of Christian Life Centre. When the building which we worship was first opened in 1985, part of the vision for that was that it would be a church which would engage with its community. And so there was a community creche and nursery. There were community programs for helping people into work and supporting people in their homes with decorating, with gardening and things like that. So right from 40 years ago, that has been part of almost the DNA of what our church has been about. As it happened through the 90s, over a period of 13 years, the 80s into the 90s, where there was a job club that was run from the church, and Angela was the one who headed that up for all of those years. There came a point when the government changed its requirements, the contract was moved elsewhere, and Angela went and worked with a Christian charity down in Chester. And she came back to me around 2002 with a piece of paper in her hand, became a bit famous, a bit of Hope Centre folklore, with a vision of what we could do in our community to help disadvantaged, marginalised, vulnerable people, socially excluded people, and so on. Those who Angela often would talk about as being not even on the first rung of the ladder, whether that ladder was education or employment or whatever else it may be. And so in 2002, we were able to gain some funding and run a program for 12 months, which was the precursor, really, to what became the Hope Centre. The charity was formed in 2004, and I was privileged to become the first chair of that charity, the Hope Centre, and to see it over these years develop into what it is today. And it has always changed, it's always developed, it's always looked to see what are the challenges, what are the needs in our community, in our town and borough of St Helens, that we can actually meet, that God is calling us to meet. One of the things that she was passionate about was if we can help one person, that'll make it worthwhile. Well, over these years, we've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and we've been blessed to do so. We've seen people come to Christ. We've seen people enter employment. We've seen people get into education or get back into education. We've seen people who have been on the streets, who move into their first tenancy, their first own home. We've seen people supported in so many different ways, gone off perhaps to rehabs and got their life tidied up and cleaned up and transformed. And we praise God for all of that. Angela said to me back in 2002, we can do this. I suspect now she's still going to John, the current chair, and to the trustees and saying from time to time, we could do this. And so we can, because God's heart is for the poor. God has a desire to help the poor, the marginalised. He calls for justice. He calls for people to bless and to help. What we've done, what we've developed, the programs that we've offered have altered and changed. We didn't start working with homeless people, but eventually we were invited to get involved with the work with homeless people, and ultimately took it over and have run that now since probably around about 2005-06. And we saw the need for food bank in our town and borough, and so we worked with other agencies to set that up and to develop that, and now run it for the whole town right across a number of different distribution hubs. It's been exciting to see all of that happen, and exciting to see that actually God blesses the work of his people as we get alongside those who A, don't know him, and B, are cut off, excluded perhaps, struggling in all sorts of ways. And so it's been part of our mission. It still is part of our mission. And it's a privilege to say, who knows where God will take us in the next 21 years. But my prayer is certainly that God will continue to lead, that you will be part of that, as we've seen many others be part of this over the years. So God bless you and enjoy the rest of today's presentation, celebration, and praying into how we can all be involved in the mission of God in reaching those who don't yet know him with his love and his grace. God bless you all.